One of the advantages of running an agency like the Sponsorship Collective is that we get to see literally thousands of sponsorship opportunities doing it wrong. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the 7 biggest mistakes that people in the motorsport industry make when looking for sponsorship. Check it out. So let's talk about motorsport sponsorship in particular and the mistakes that you should avoid making and you're probably making now. These mistakes will stop you from hitting your sponsorship revenue goals. Now, if at any point throughout this video you feel like you're getting some value and you want to say thank you, it would mean a lot to me if you hit the subscribe button and then just click the thumbs up so that I know you're watching and I know you want me to keep making videos like this. Big mistake. Big mistake number 1 is offering logos and only logos. Yes, motorsport sponsorship has tons of logos. It's probably the last sponsorship opportunity or suite of opportunities where putting logos on stuff offers value. The problem is thinking that sponsorship is nothing more than logo placement. In other words, you're nothing more than a billboard. When you do that, you turn yourself into an opportunity just like every other opportunity on the track, which means that sponsors are just going to look for either the person on the podium or the person who will charge them the least. So you're in a race to be the cheapest, which is not a strong position. Only logo placement as your main sponsorship focus is a big mistake. You want to focus on engaging your fans and connecting them to a sponsor. That is, after all, why a sponsor has any interest in you. Regardless of how well you're doing in your races, you will have a fan base. And it's that fan base and social media following that you want to engage to connect with sponsors. Another big mistake is going after only one sponsor. This idea that you're going to go out and just get this mega brand who's going to pay for everything that your team needs or that you need in order to pursue your passion in motorsports. Now, I don't mean that what you should do instead is just e-blast thousands of companies your sponsorship package. Not at all. You should do your audience research and know who your fans are, and then look to brands that are interested in your fans. And you should be approaching all of them and having discovery calls and real conversations with every one of them. Don't think of sponsorship like playing the lottery. Like you're going to get that one big sponsorship and they're going to give you $1 million, sign a 10-year deal, and you never have to worry about money again. That approach is highly unlikely to work. And a big mistake is not having audience data. Yes, I understand. Of course, you're in the motorsport world, so all motorsport fans are your audience, right? Well, maybe not. One of our NASCAR clients found out that they were over-indexed in female fans, in particular, upper middle class professional women who lived in the Midwest. It's a very specific niche. So what did they do? They started to look towards sponsors, brands who were looking for innovative ways to connect with this audience segment. And they did quite well with sponsors who are looking for that particular type of audience. Now, had they focused just on the fact that, hey, we're a NASCAR hopeful like any other NASCAR hopeful, so we must have the same audience as all other NASCAR teams, right? Had they done that, they would have missed out on a major opportunity to sign multiple sponsors. That's the power of the niche audience. You really want to focus on who your fans are and how you can engage them with a sponsor. It's critically important that you choose sponsors who are in line with your brand, in line with your values, in line with your audience. Why? Well, because you are meshing your brand with theirs. And if they hold values that are at odds with your values, and your audience picks this up, you could damage your relationship with your audience, but also your audience is unlikely to engage with them. So if you have a particular brand for yourself, you act a certain way and speak a certain way in public, it's critically important you pick brands that support that do the same, or that are totally neutral and don't really care what you do, because your audience is aligning with you because they like you and your personality. They're your fans for a reason. The last thing you want to do is alienate your fans by choosing brands that are at odds with their values, which of course is why audience data is so critically important. A big mistake that I see people in the racing sponsorship world make is not knowing their value. They simply look at what everyone else is doing and copy it. Of course, this is a function of not knowing who your audience is, because if you knew who your audience was, you would know that they're more valuable to sponsors. Having a professional valuation done that you can present to your sponsors is critically important. And by the way, if you want to jump on a call and talk about finding out the value of your sponsorship opportunity, you can book a call with my team at any point. Sponsorshipcollective.com. Just click the book a call button and we can dive in and talk about valuation. But not knowing your value is a surefire way to leave money on the table, but also to alienate sponsors because you start to look like an amateur and a low quality opportunity for them. A big mistake that we see really all sponsorship seekers do, including motorsport, is writing the wrong proposal. What is the wrong proposal? Well, it's a proposal you send to a sponsor before you've met with them, first of all. Assuming that all they want to do is put logos on your fire suit and on your vehicle and on your team's jackets. If you're wrong, that's a big chance you're taking. Writing the wrong proposal is a proposal that assumes what brands want, asks them for money before ever meeting them. The right kind of proposal is one that is 50% audience data, focuses on cool activations and experiences, and yes, of course, logo placement, but just not only logo placement. And doesn't ask for money, but instead asks for a meeting. A real sponsorship proposal only comes after the meeting where you're proposing you work together based on the outcomes of a good discovery meeting. We see this all the time, in particular with motorsport folks. They wait way too long to engage sponsors, and then they have no time to negotiate. If you're looking at your calendar and you've got a couple months before the season starts again, you are way too late. You should be prospecting all the time. I understand that you have a very busy period of travel, of heading to the track, of practicing, all the things that you have to do in the motorsport world. But that doesn't matter to sponsors and to brands. They're making decisions all the time about working together. So you might need to be thinking about next season during this season. Don't wait until it's convenient to you to do sponsorship. Think of sponsorship as part of your daily job in the motorsport world and do it every single day. All right, if you got value from this video, I would love it if you could drop down below in the comments your biggest takeaway, the one thing you're going to change or do differently. And of course, I would love it if you could give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And remember, the sponsorship proposal does not make the sale. You do. Good luck out there.